Hello and welcome to the BS Podcast, where we talk the absurd, the ridiculous, and yes, the bullshit. Hi, I am Dave, and joining me is my fellow connoisseur in bullshit, Mr. Zach. Zach, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I am relaxed. I am back from my little 4 or 5 day vacation over the Labor Day weekend, and we've got a ton of bullshit to talk about because it's been a lot going on around the country. Something about this holiday, I don't know, it just brings out all the assholes around the country.
All the crazies were out. Yeah. Because we had July 4th, I guess that was the last holiday, and things were still a little bit dicey in terms of COVID. And now, as you know, COVID cases and deaths and hospitalizations, as those basically make their way down, this is good news. Now, you know, all those stir crazy people are out there rabble rousing, creating trouble, and doing a bunch of crazy stuff. So what was your weekend? What'd you do?
So I went down to the beach. Me and my wife hopped in the car Wednesday night after work, and we took like that 2.5 hour drive, got the dog, you know, just went to the beach and stayed with my folks that live down there for a few days. And we had like perfect weather for like 5 days straight. I mean, it was like the weekend like sent from the gods. It's like really? God knew like I was going to be there, and he like gave us this beautiful like perfect weather. I mean, it was awesome. We were basically spent like 5 days on my dad's boat. Just, you know.
Oh, sounds great. I didn't do anything quite that extravagant, or in terms of like going away for a while. We did. We took a day trip on Saturday to Venice, Florida, which is about, I don't know, hour and a half or so south of here. Took the dog as well. Went to the beach. Had a great day. Walked around the town a little bit. Got some food and made our way back. And then I was, you know, doing a little bit of stuff. If you notice, we've got a change of scenery. I constructed a barn and made my office there. So still doing a little bit of finishing touches. There's more to do. I've got an Ethernet cable that's spread around, and there's some other stuff going on. But yeah, so we had a nice weekend as well, nice and relaxing, and then you know, here we are, We're catching up on all the BS going on in the world, Zach.
That we are.
So we've got 5 stories. You want me to run them down before we start?
Yeah, let's tease them a little bit and see what we got going on for today.
Excellent. Boat sink at massive Trump boat rally in Texas. 12-year-old suspended for BB gun. Gender reveal party creates massive wildfire. Priest that says COVID is caused. I'm going to tease this one a little bit. Priest said that COVID was caused by gay marriage in a sense, and then he got a bit of a reveal. And then finally, Zach, the tech dystopia is upon us. Walmart to test drone delivery of grocery and household items. So we're getting into that now. This time, I think last 2 I pre-rated on a scale of 1 to 10 the BS items. This time I did not do that, so I will be doing it live. Did you pre-record or pre-mark yours?
I pre-rated. Got everything written down.
All right, so let's hit our first story, Zach, and one that I think you witnessed in partial a little bit, at least in your neck of the woods, which is we've been seeing these massive boat parades going on over the last, I don't know, month or two, basically as you know, Trump was famous in 2016 for his rallies and getting all supporters together and kind of having like a carnival and party atmosphere. But that's kind of been done, even though things have been relaxed a little bit. So if you can't have a rally, what are you going to do? You're going to get in your damn boat, as many as possible, and we're going to pile into whatever body of water we could find and show our Trump flags and show our support for the president. Right, Zach?
That's right. Yeah, I was in Ocean City, Maryland. That's the beach I spoke about earlier that we went to over the weekend, and that's like Trump country over there.
Yeah.
And I think 90% of all the boats you pass usually have a Trump 2020 flag hanging off the back of them. You know, my dad told me there was going to be a Trump boat rally that weekend. I was like, that doesn't sound any different from any other time we're out on the boat down there. But we did not go to that boat rally. My dad, you know, there was already enough boat traffic as it is over Labor Day weekend where you're, you know, throwing in all these boats at it. But what I wanted to do is I was trying to convince my dad to let us now, before I say the story, I just want to say I'm not saying that I am a supporter of Joe Biden. I'm just saying that because I thought it would be funny and we would get some good footage.
Yeah.
I wanted to fuck around and put a Joe Biden flag on my dad's boat and ride right in the middle of the Trump rally just to see some of the reactions we would get from people.
Yeah,
And my
just want to
dad,
make sure, Zach, you were just trolling and don't want to anger any of the commentators.
yeah, look, we don't support presidential candidates here on on this show, but what we do is like to get a reaction out of people. So that's what I was trying to do, just to see what would happen. And my dad said, "No fucking way, that is not happening."
Biden flags are few and far between.
They are few and far between. I don't think I've seen one. I think maybe seen one flag on someone's house down in that area, but I've never seen one on a boat before.
I was going to say, do they exist? I don't know. As the president has been gaining a little bit more support, it seems like his supporters are coming more out of the woodwork and being a little bit more vocal, to the point where, as you said, and I've seen these boat parades and rallies. I guess if you almost want a boat rally, they're popping up all over the place, all over the country. There was one in my neck of the woods where they tried to set the record. I don't know if they did, but there was a story here. Just a day ago, I think everyone was really pushing for this over the weekend. This one in Lee County, which is basically like Fort Myers area. It says Trump boat parade in Lee County waters may be record. Unofficial count at 11,000.
Had a lot of boats.
That's a lot of boats. And so back to this one here in Texas. This was the famous one where there was a little bit of a tragedy. I love the start of this article from NPR. The weather was calm, the atmosphere festive, which made it all the more surprising when several boats sank Saturday at an event put on by Trump supporters near Austin, Texas. Now, we've got a little bit of a video of what the scene partially looked like here. It's quite hilarious. I mean...
Oh, yeah. I mean, that guy's got his whole hull painted or shrink wrapped. Wow. You think they're voting for Trump in November?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. And here comes this little boat behind it.
I know, right? You don't want to be the guy in the dinghy.
Yeah.
One flag.
You're like, damn, I got to follow him and look at this guy. These guys in their pontoon boats.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, it is. I mean, they're having a bit of fun.
What the hell was that jet ski doing there? That's the picture that I've seen going around. That is nuts. Look at that wake.
That's
and then for a calm day, for your wake to be that bad, this is what happens right here. Damn.
Well, you got the guy rolling in his freaking a boat you could take across the Atlantic.
A lot of boats.
Those things are massive. They're rolling by, creating big waves. I mean, there's a lot there.
Yeah, it's like off of I don't know if you've seen Caddyshack, but it's like when Rodney Dangerfield took over the boat and was riding it around and creating all the huge waves and shit. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So, and it's it's a fun atmosphere. People that Trump supporters, like-minded people getting together to have a good time or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Deck out your boat almost like a car show, something like that. Almost people can show off their stuff, but it becomes to the point where it's so crowded, it becomes unsafe.
Oh, yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with the mentality of some of these boaters as well that don't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not a comment on Trump supporters. It's just a comment on people in boats. You know what I mean? You don't know how many times this weekend, we would be in an area that says 6 miles an hour only, no wake, and you would see some fucking asshole just full blame everyone else oh fuck, what's this asshole doing, kind of thing. It's like, this is not like the police. It's not like there's police. I mean, yeah, there's boat police, there's Coast Guard and things like that. I have been on a boat before when we've gotten a ticket before. It will happen, but it's very few and far between. You know what I mean? It's almost like you can do whatever the hell you want out there, and there's really no ramifications of it unless you're in the small boat that gets fucking turned over and sinks because you're taking on too much water.
That's exactly right. I mean, if the boats are the waters are pretty wild for the most part, and it's very easy with a big thing like that to either run into somebody or the wake, as you said. That's particularly BS-y, bullshitty in my area because one of the issues one of the reasons for no wake, in addition to safety, is protection of manatees.
And
they get chopped up by propellers, going too fast. And it really is really angering, for an innocent creature like that to get killed just because some asshole wants to go a little bit faster in his boat. But yeah, this one's funny. This says, Let's see. Almost, this is a quote here from the sheriff's office. Almost immediately upon the parade going into motion, we began receiving distress calls from boaters. Boats taking on water, stalled engines, capsized, sinking. So yeah, I mean, is there? I mean, a boat cop was Coast Guard or whatever. They don't do capacity, right? I mean, how would you stop all these people from going out there?
Yeah, you can't. There's no, at least in our area, there's no, it's not like there's rules. It's not like you have to go out and get a license or do this. I mean, literally, like, you can go up and rent a boat for the day, like anybody. You could just walk up and like say, hey, I want to rent a boat for a few hours. Here's the keys, my friend. Go have a good old time. You don't know anything about rules or what you're supposed are or aren't supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's a holiday weekend, so it's already going to be more crowded out in the water anyway, right? Especially with beautiful, calm weather. Come on, man. The police probably woke up that morning and we're looking at the weather report thinking like, man, we're going to have a nice, easy day today because, no wind, no storms blowing through. And sure enough, they got all those calls and like, what the fuck is going on?
All those crazy Trump supporters out there doing a boat parade trying to set records, It does actually. Well, luckily, I didn't see in any of these stories anybody dying. I guess, but there's so many people around to help. I guess if the boat's going under, they grab you. But I imagine, being in a boat that's sinking is still pretty freaking terrifying. Yeah,
I'm sure. And I don't know what that were. So like, I know where I was. It's not like it's in the ocean where it's super deep. Like in the bay, in between the ocean and like the mainland, it only gets about 6 feet deep.
Yeah.
Where like a lot of people are. So like if you usually touch bottom if you fall. I don't know where exactly this was, but it kind of looked like it was similar. The thing that I would worry about most is like you're sitting in the water. I would worry more about other boats like hitting you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like as your boat's sinking and like someone runs you over or some shit. I don't know.
It's a little bit dangerous. So this is a lake because I'm sorry, Austin, Texas is not near the coast.
Yeah.
As we both know, we were there. But this is in a lake, so I guess a lake like this might be deep, I guess, in the middle. But yeah, what you describe is almost like the Gulf of Mexico, like where I am. In most spot, unless you go out pretty far, it could be 7-8 feet, at the deepest until you go out, past or into a channel or something like that. But it's just hilarious. I mean, I don't expect this to stop. I guess this is the last big holiday before the election, but I think we can probably expect to see this happen again, right?
Oh yeah, I want to see someone. I haven't seen any responses for some of the bigger boats that were okay. Like I want to know if someone was like, if there's anyone out there that's remorseful, or if anyone's out there like, like, oh fuck them, they should have had bigger boats. You know what I mean? I want to see, some responses for some of the people that were there that did or didn't sink. So if you're listening, let us know.
I'd love to hear any information. Have you been to a Trump boat parade? Tell us what that's like. So love for y'all to comment down below what you think of this. And by the way, the picture with the lady screaming, thankfully that one says here caption, it did not capsize. That one stayed, but certainly a hairy moment, especially for that lady.
You can see the terror in her face.
I know. Honestly, I'd be right there with her. I'd be screaming. I'd be freaking out, man.
There was one time when I was little and we were going out crabbing and my dad's old boat had like a plug in the back of it.
Uh-huh.
And it was made so that when water gets out of the boat and you take it out of the water, you can pull out the plug and let everything drain.
Yeah.
And we got the boat in the water and it was super early because we were crabbing. I mean, the sun was like barely coming up and we're driving and I'm like, Dad, there's a boat in the water. And he turns around, looks, and he forgot to put the plug in. Like he left it in his truck and he was like, fuck. And we had to like turn around and like speed back to the damn dock, and everyone's trying to like put their boats in the water and shit because everyone's going out. And my dad's screaming at everybody like, "Fucking move! My boat's sinking!"
Man, that's fun. So boating is fun, but certainly could be frustrating and dangerous.
Yeah.
You have anything else on this topic, Zach? Or you want to go ahead and give a rating?
Yeah, I can give a rating.
All right, go for it.
All right, I'm gonna go 6.
I go 6. Yeah, I'm kind of there too. I'm thinking I'm actually just going to go 5. So it's I think it's just medium bullshit. I think it's perfect medium bullshit. We got when people are, this stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
When a bunch of people trying to pack into anything, and thankfully there's loss of property and not life, but still pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. All right, so you got that was 6. I got 5, and 5 plus 6 equals 11. All right, let's hit our next topic, Zach. This one comes from informedamerican.com. And the nanny state is getting stupider and stupider. The story here, Isaiah Elliott, a 12-year-old 7th grader at Grand Mountain School just south of Colorado Springs, attends school virtually like a lot of people. While on video, Isaiah moved an airsoft gun, a green and black pistol with an orange tip with the words "Zombie Hunter" on the side from one place of his couch to another. His teacher saw it come across the screen, told the principal, who then called the police, who then knocked on the door and came over there to investigate a potential student with a gun. Zach, this is some serious bullshit.
Oh, it's some serious bullshit. You know, you get teachers online. We did a story not too long ago about teachers bitching about their privacy. You know, what about the family's privacy, right? What was that story? Parents were getting in trouble because they were listening in on their kids' conversation because they didn't want to hear, like, teachers didn't want them to hear sensitive material or whatever. Like, what about the privacy of the kids' homes?
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean? There was this same exact thing happened to a lady at my church, and her son was on a virtual school call. He had a BB gun hanging up on the wall behind him. Like they're a big military family, you know, they're whatever, but he didn't touch it. He didn't move it or anything. It was just very inconspicuously up in the background with like all his other toys or whatever. And same kind of thing happened. The principal told the police came to the house and all this other stuff. I mean, I don't think he got suspended. I'm not exactly sure, but still it was a giant issue in this area.
You know, we're just, who cares? You know, and you know exactly what it was, which is just, you know, the kid's bored at school listening to some stupid lecture, whatever, and it's just in his hand, and he just goes like this. You know, it doesn't like there's no indication he was doing anything in a threatening manner.
Yeah. Like it's not, if he was pointing it at the screen and saying, "I'm going to kill you" or something like that might start to cross a line where we need to think about the behavior and what's this going to like, how is this going to, grow with this kid as he gets older, you know what I mean? But
yeah, threatening himself, threatening others, you know, bullying, anything like that, threatening the teacher, obviously. The thing said "Zombie Hunter" on it. I mean, at what point is, you know, what I can do in my house, you know, your business?
Yeah, I think eventually what they're going to have to do is everyone's just going to have their kids have virtual backgrounds. I don't know what software these students are using. If they're using Zoom, everyone knows you can just do a virtual background. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of kids getting in trouble for what they pick as their virtual backgrounds.
Well, that'll be the next fight.
Yeah, that'll be the next fight. But you know, it does protect your privacy. I mean, I don't know if there's any rules about kids not being able to do that.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, maybe they say like, then we want to see if someone's looking over your shoulder and helping you, you know, do schoolwork or I don't know. You know, I don't know what's going to happen from that. But
that is a good point. I think cheating in the age of Zoom classes is probably going to go up.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's got to be bad. I had a friend of mine that was taking some test over Zoom not too long ago, maybe a few months ago. It was some kind of license. I want to say he sells insurance for his living. He had to take some kind of like a test to qualify, but because it's COVID, he had to do it from home, and he had to have his computer up with his webcam at all times, and he had to hold it in the air and show his entire room to like the person on the other end to make sure he wasn't cheating. You know what I mean? Like before he got started, he had to like hold it up in the air, show like every aspect of where he was taking his test and things like that. I thought that was interesting.
So then you put the webcam back, then you're like, okay, you can come in now.
Yeah, exactly. Hold up my cue cards now. I did want to talk about some comments because people on the Informed American Facebook are riled up about this thing. So James Howlett says these liberals are fucking crazy. They don't want parents dropping in on their lessons, but if you have something that offends them, you're getting told on. Piece of shit.
Yep.
Randy Downey, suspended from school, such bullshit. Besides that, he's doing his schoolwork over the damn computer at home, which brings up a point because when you get suspended for school, you have to go home and you can't go to school. But like, so is he just going to be at home from the same thing, but without the classwork? Okay. And this comment actually brings up an interesting point. David Thomas said, toy guns can be dangerous. Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old black kid, was killed by police for playing with a toy gun.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, he was out there in the neighborhood or whatever. Now, that one, I don't – did that one –
This
didn't say – go ahead.
This is a little different though, because
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that story, but that toy gun that Tamir Rice had, that did not look like that did not look like a toy gun. I just looked up pictures of it again, and that thing looked like a pretty accurate replica,
Right. That's
of
where I
like
was
a
headed at.
real
Yeah.
gun. And
Yeah.
this, and I mean, it's sad Tamir Rice had to get shot, and I don't think anyone's disputing that. But like when he has the gun in his waistband, pulling it out after people are already having 911 calls of him with the gun, it's just I don't think you compare both of those stories.
And I haven't seen that video since it came out, but I could be mistaken here, but I thought he might have even pointed it at the cops too.
So I just kind of like went down a rabbit hole with that story after I saw this comment, because I wanted to be able to like talk about it intelligently, or at least as much as I can, because it was a while ago, right? We do forget the facts a lot of the times, and I remember that surveillance footage was so grainy and terrible. The only thing that you can really tell is you can see him kind of going in his waistband, right? And then you can see like it on the ground after the cops shoot him. So I think the big thing in the defense was like the gun wouldn't have been on the ground if he hadn't have pulled it out. So I think that's where the big argument came from, was that he had to have pulled it out for it to like fall on the ground like it did.
Either way, I mean, a terrible situation.
An awful situation, and it's sad regardless. I mean, I think people can I think everyone can agree anytime someone gets shot, it's a sad situation, you know what I mean? It's very unfortunate.
And particularly for a minor who's just being a stupid kid. That's really what was going on there. Now, thankfully, I guess the cops didn't barge in and shoot everybody, so that's good. That's some good news there.
Yeah.
One other layer of bullshit I wanted to mention here is because on the idea of recording, is that the school was actually recording this class, because there was that fight there about parents being able to record. So the school's recording said neither parent knew the school. This is from the original Fox 31 story. Neither parent knew the school was recording their son's virtual class, but said the district refused to provide the video to them when they requested it.
See, that's bullshit. I agree that I think these should be recorded, just like I think cops should have body cams on, because it protects both parties in any event, right?
But you got to make it available.
Exactly. If both parties need to have access to said video. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable. I mean, what the heck? The idea that they're not going to share it. Well, because they give you some, it's a police matter now, or some bullshit excuse,
Yeah.
Terrible job here by the school. Absolutely ridiculous. I find this, and it is true. It is true. This isn't the same thing as Tamir Rice, but actually someone could have accidentally gotten hurt over something this stupid. That was a good comment. Thank you, everybody, for those great comments. Very, very insightful, and I'm glad you brought those up, Zach. Are you have any more on this, or you want me to give my rating?
I do not. I'm ready to rate this bitch.
I'm giving this puppy an 8. This is high-level bullshit.
Yeah.
And there's multiple layers, which we like. So, 8 for me. What do you got?
9.
9. Nice.
9. This is
high level.
A lot of bullshit.
Just ridiculous. Just completely irresponsible. This idea. Just mind your business, teacher. That's it. Send a note call the parents or something. And it's even in there. The parents are like, why didn't you just call us and say, hey, it looks like we saw, I don't know, little Johnny holding what appeared to be a gun. I think it might be a toy, but I just want to make sure. Talk to the parent. Yeah, it's a freaking BB gun.
Yeah, it's a toy, Johnny. Don't pull that out again. Right? Yeah. Where's the wording? Where is it always like goes straight from like jury to executioner? Right? Yeah. There's no warning. Where's the warning? Where's the due diligence? We're not talking about like a criminal mastermind. We're talking about a fucking kid, right? So
it's absolute bullshit. So yeah. All right, Zach, let's move on to our third story. This one comes out of Ukraine. A high-level priest in Ukraine, a leading church figure there. He said he's a leader of the Orthodox Church in Kiev. Now we're talking about being interviewed a little while ago. Someone was asking about what he thought about COVID-19, and he said to the Ukrainian national TV network, he said that the COVID-19 outbreak was, quote, God's punishment for the sins of men, the sinfulness of humanity. First of all, I mean, same-sex marriage. So he said that COVID-19 was payback for gay marriage and our sinfulness. And then the bit of twist and irony here is that this priest then has now contracted COVID-19.
Yeah. I want to know what's that man hiding, right? What's his next step, right? Coming out of the closet.
Has he engaged in a secret marriage?
Yeah. Some people do say that like the biggest homophobic people are actually like closet homosexuals themselves because they're ashamed for some reason. So maybe that's what's going on here. Maybe this, maybe that's the deal with this priest. And well, cat's out of the bag now, my friend, because
I know. I mean, I've heard that as well. That is something I've heard a lot. Although I couldn't imagine in any case. Sometimes you just don't like something. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean you are that thing. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't like snakes doesn't mean I'm a snake, or something like that. But but certainly people like this, and I don't want to offend anybody, but this isn't the Catholic Church, it's the Ukrainian Orthodox. But there has been some problems in church organizations with this kind of a thing.
I want to know what's going to be the cause of COVID now, right? Because he said, he said it was same-sex marriage, and now he has it. So,
and that is, I take issue with that, and I think church leaders would do well for their own sake and for the sake of their church is to not, try to make these kinds of interpretations. Even just putting aside the gay marriage thing. I mean, that first part of it, he said, God's punishment for the sins of men, the sinfulness of humanity. I mean, that takes you down a weird place, right? I mean, when you're like, like people saying like, I don't know, this tornado came through my home because I'd sinned or something. I mean, that's
people play politics in church the same way they play politics in politics.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, that they're trying to get members. So they're trying to fearmonger, do whatever they can to make people believe in what they're spreading so they can get more money in the donation bin XYZ. You know what I mean?
I think that's a great insight. So in other words, like the way, Biden will blame Trump or Trump will blame Biden for some other thing means it's his fault. There's this bad thing and I can fix it. Same thing with the church. The reason why you're getting COVID is because you're sinful and doing things against the Bible. And that's why we've got it. Although I can't explain why I've got it.
Yeah.
Just keep your mouth shut, because it's gonna bite you in the ass or wherever. But oh man, I just love this story because it's such bullshit. And in a moment of seriousness, as I touched on earlier, this just makes the church look stupid. And for people who there are many, I bet most followers don't believe this stuff. They're able to separate their daily lives from what might be above and that plan, and to try to specifically know what that plan is, I think is certainly problematic. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree like that. People like to everything that good that happens in their life is because of God. Everything bad that happens is because they were bad. You know what I mean? That's just what did they used to do back in the day when they were sin? They used to lash themselves with shit like that. Like that was a thing back in the day. I'm sure some people still do it.
Like the Da Vinci Code movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like that dude.
And all it does is nothing can be gained by this statement, even if you believe it. Just keep your mouth shut, please, because this is just stupid. You make yourself look stupid, and
that's what I've always said. Like, did them saying that really think they're going to convert a gay man to not be gay? You know what I mean? It's just going to make them hate the church even more.
Oh no, yeah, I'm going to divorce my same-sex partner because this is why we got COVID.
Yeah, I think statements like that are just going to create a further divide.
Yeah,
you know what I mean among people. I don't want to say Democrat versus Republican because it's different than that because it's a different country. I don't know, but it's the same kind of concept: gay marriage versus not gay marriage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just social, social conservatism or social.
Yeah, these social issues. Like it's just creating the divide between both of them, right?
Yeah, and I would assume Ukraine is much more socially conservative than the United States. Certainly, I think that would bear itself out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not helping, and now he looks stupid, and now by extension, since he's a leading figure in the church, now the church looks kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So well done. You ready for me to give a rating?
Yep.
All right, this is BS, but it's not as high as the BB gun, so I'm going to give this thing a 7. What do you got?
I'm going low, man. I'm going 2 on this one.
Okay.
Low 2.
See, my high BS is as a former churchgoer and a non-practicing person who does believe in God. This hits me particularly hard because I do think. Not that this statement would have necessarily pushed me away from the church, but maybe a series of statements like this, which are just really not there with reality, that does bother me a lot. And
yeah, I guess my low BS because it's just you come to expect statements like this, right? Church has been saying shit like this for years and years and years and years. You know what I mean? Like he says it, and it's just like that's something a church somewhere would say. Like, yeah, that makes sense. So
okay. All right. Well, fair enough. All right. So, it's good to have a little divergence once in a while. So, I go 7, you go 2, and that totals 9. All right. So let's move on to story number 4, Zach. A California fire sparked by a gender reveal party has grown to more than 10,000 acres. A gender reveal party sparked a wildfire.
All right.
Raging in Southern California.
Gender reveal parties are bullshit enough already,
really
right? But now that they're like starting like massive fires, not even a little fire that you can put out with like a fire hose or not a fire, like a fire hydrant, not fire hydrant,
bucket of water,
or the damn thing you keep under your kitchen sink if you start a fire in your house, a fire extinguisher. Jesus, I've never had to use a fire extinguisher before, so I mean that's why I don't know what it's called.
I've never used one either.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know if I own one.
I do own one, but it doesn't have a hose. Like I bought it and it didn't have a hose with it, so I was like, well, hopefully I never have to use it. Well,
maybe we should not be giving advice here.
Well, I mean, we're not the ones that started massive thousands of acres of fire damage, are we, Dave?
We are not. It says story here out of CNN. The El Dorado fire. This thing it's so big they gave it its own name. In Southern California, San Bernardino County has scorched 10,574 acres when it was only 16% contained as of yesterday, according to fire officials. Who says this is one of the most dangerous fires they've ever seen in the area. Wow. The fire was caused by a smoke-generating pyrotechnic device used at a party on Saturday morning. It's just 70 miles east of Los Angeles. Now, look at this. Or here we could show a picture here from the article. The devastation. My God. And it says the one guy says he hasn't seen a fire like this in his 30 years living there.
Smoke generating pyrotechnic device for a gender reveal. What kind of Dukes of Hazzard shit is this? You know what I mean? Like, couldn't you have just hit like a baseball filled with colored powder, or like cut a cake like a normal person? Right? What? Like, why does everything have to be bigger? Why do we always have to keep outdoing it? Like. Hey, honey, you want to cut a cake? Hell no, I want to blow some shit up. And then Steve, like, well,
yeah,
look what happened, friend.
And I need that thing at all costs.
Yeah.
As we're pulling up to the park, I'm sure, as we know, it's been like crazy hot in California and crazy dry. When you go in, I'm sure it says like warning, no fire. This thing is really bad. This thing can spark at any moment. And you look over to your wife or whatever. And you're like, honey, did you see? Maybe we should. No, I want to do the gender reveal bomb.
I know. I'm sitting here blaming the guy. Like maybe it was the woman's fault. You know, maybe it was her idea. I always go quick to blame the man in every situation. I probably shouldn't. But I was like digging through this story, and this sounds like brand new to me. But apparently, this shit has been happening for like a while. There was like a story I saw from back in 2017. I don't remember hearing about this, but this guy in 2017 in Arizona, I think he did the same shit. had some kind of explosive device set with like colored smoke. I don't know, but he burned down 47,000 acres.
Oh my
And at
God.
the end of it, he was charged in order to repay $8 million in damages. So
Oh,
like,
bruh.
buddy, that there goes your kid's
There goes-
college fund and
It's your life.
the home it lives in and everything. You know what I mean? Like, dude,
Your grandchildren will be paying that off.
all because you had to updo and do the coolest gender reveal you could think of, man. It's just it could have been completely avoided.
Yeah, I mean, I've never
Like-
heard of this device. I don't think I've seen this one. I've seen the one, like hitting a balloon with a baseball bat or something like that, or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah.
The powder, This is interesting here. It says surveillance video reviewed by investigators showed a couple with several children walking into the grass while another person appears to light a device. After it ignites, the family is seen scrambling and grabbing water bottles and fire extinguishers without a hose to try to douse the growing fire. Everyone, and apparently they're all cooperating. Now, not said here, Zach, is whether it was blue or pink. What do you think?
I don't know. What if they fucked up the color
Because
and they don't even know what
like
kids
they
are
opened
having
a
now?
green one.
Yeah, it was all for nothing. Yeah, they got green. They're like, well, I guess we're having a Shrek.
Oh, hilarious. And by the way, there's wildfires all over California, and there's some really really crazy
Yeah,
ones.
it's just a new thing. California is on fire every single year.
Every year.
Every year. This isn't a new thing. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Now, I've heard that because of one of the culprits that I've heard is blaming some certain environmental regulations, which would stop authorities from like trimming trees back and stuff like that. But that's not the case here. Just a couple of selfish assholes
Yeah.
decided that their freaking blue or pink powder was more firework or whatever was more important than 10,000 acres of forest.
Yeah, I don't think cops not being able to trim trees has anything to do with it. I think it comes down. I think it's a human nature issue, just like this. How many times have you seen someone driving down the street smoking a cigarette and just flick it out the window when they're done it? You know what I mean? Right? I think it's a human nature thing. I don't think there's anything. I don't think it has to do with the trees are growing too much. You know what I mean? No, I don't buy that.
It's stupid people.
Yeah.
Always people in their stupidity can they can outclass anything with their idiocy. All right, so I think I gave the last one, right?
Yep.
Oh, what do you got?
All right, I'm going, Dave. I'm going high on this one because it really pisses me off. 10.
Yeah, 10. This
10.
is a 10.
Big 10.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
I'm gonna go 8 here. Yeah, this is really. I'm gonna go 9 actually. You didn't twist my arm, but this is high level BS. I mean, because of what one stupid selfish mistake, the catastrophe that unwinds from that. Very, very, very upsetting.
And I don't want to hear anyone commenting saying like, "Oh, well, what about the arsons?" I'm not saying any kind of arson is good. You know what I mean? Like with rioters and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. Why are we setting fires? Like, but for a gender reveal party, that's just absolutely idiotic.
By the way, public service announcement. Another story from CNN. Woman who popularized the gender reveal party says enough already after latest wildfire, and so she says please stop. So, I think anyone
She's the
will
real
listen.
culprit. They should put her on trial.
Maybe as an accessory.
What happened to the good old fashioned days when like your doctor would just put it in a sealed envelope and you and your wife would just go home together and open it and then read it?
Yeah, because everything's got to be.
Why does everything got to be a to do?
Yeah, you know why? Because
Social media.
Because you got to do the Instagram. You got to do America's Funniest Videos. Believe it or not, is still on. You got to do YouTube and all this shit. Well, here we are on YouTube, but we're not blowing anything up yet. Not yet. Maybe we could be on the docket.
Yeah.
How? Maybe we're just as bad. I don't know, but I think that's what it is. It's the notoriety. It's for Instagram and stuff like that. All right, that is story number 4. Let's move on, Zach, to something I really don't like, and something that's unsettling to me. A story here from CNBC. Walmart to test drone delivery of grocery and household items. Now they're going to run a pilot program for delivery of grocery and household products through automated drones, along with an end-to-end delivery firm called Flytrex, which sounds terrifying. So here we go. We're going to start. They're starting there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. These cloud-controlled drones will be picking up and dropping off select items. As the company has accelerated the expansion of its pickup and delivery service in the face of COVID-19 pandemic, as virus-wary consumers increasingly prefer having items delivered to their doorsteps. Now, I love delivery. I love having items delivered to my doorstep, but I prefer that delivery to be made by a human being. Zach, what do you think?
Dude, I just got Instacart yesterday. So yesterday when we were coming home from the beach, we left at like 5 o'clock in the morning so that we could get back home by like 8 to start work. And I was like dead. I'm like, I'm not driving down the street to go to the grocery store. I'm going to just get that shit delivered. And it was lovely. But I would not pay to have a drone deliver my shit. That's getting me too much. And I'll explain. I'll tell you why. Like, because how many people are you going to see shooting these things down?
Oh yeah.
Not only that, but maybe stealing your shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fine line between like robbing a car to get something from like a delivery man, right? Than like shooting down electronic. Because you've already seen people of shooting down drones because they think it's an invasion of privacy, right? So it's like Joe Schmo next door, delivering my stuff for Walmart. Invasion of privacy, bam, shoots it out of the sky, and sure enough, oh hey, look at this package here, mine now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, once it's in the air, it's fair game, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
there's the issue of airspace. Say I have a yard, right? Where does my air end? I don't know that's been decided.
So the other thing, and I think the ruling on this changes depending on like your jurisdiction or where you live at. But I know here near Baltimore, you need a special license to like fly them. You need to be trained, and there's like a lot of rules with where you can and can't fly them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you live near the airport, you cannot fly a drone.
That's
in that
logical.
Area. Do people listen? No, they don't really enforce it, but still, if a giant corporation like Walmart is sending out thousands and thousands of drones to people getting shit delivered.
Yeah. See, this is what I don't understand. So there's a quote here from Tom Ward, Senior Vice President of Consumer Products. In a statement, he says, quote, "We know that it will be some time before we see millions of packages delivered via drone. That still feels like a bit of science fiction. But, in there is the idea that this is coming. And like you said, I mean, I just can't imagine. I mean, maybe neither one of us have imagination or what, but there's going to be a world where these things are just crisscrossing and flying around in the air. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it sounds like The Fifth Element. Like, I don't know if you remember, like when all the cars in New York were like flying in the sky and on. You're like, how the hell are they not hitting each other? It's gonna be the same thing. I love drones. I've been looking at buying one. I really want one. I love drone footage. Like, every time I edit a video, I probably put at least one clip of a drone footage in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. I love it. They're fun. They're cool. And I don't mind them. Like I every once in a while I might see a drone like flying over, just doing whatever. And it's, it's like, whatever, you can't really see anything when they're that high anyway. Right. If I had a drone like flying an eye level in my backyard, I'd probably be like, who the hell is this? And I'd probably smack it down or something like that. But, and that's where I think the delivery is where it's starting to get a little more personal, because for the drone to come in, go down to your house, drop it off on your front, fly out. That's all in pretty like eye view of like what it can see like all around you. Does that make sense?
It does.
Right. It's not like you're getting this mile high sky view that's like no different than like someone in an airplane.
That's a great point. I mean, now it's like, if we worry about surveillance and all this stuff, at least, you could see what I'm clicking on my phone. Now you have like, an endless video of the outside of everyone's house and all this stuff and what you're doing. I mean, what if I don't know, you're just, not that you want to stay naked outside in front of your window, but this sense of privacy is that, I mean, I know anyone could come in and out, but it's a little creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This brings up kind of an interesting topic of where like drones are going to be used. I know we're talking about grocery stores and Walmart, but like how they're going to be used by like local police force. You know what I mean? That's all we talk about now is how the police always feel like they're in danger, or how to protect people. This is going to sound a little nerdy, but there's this video game I just got done playing not too recently. That's kind of like a sci-fi. And like in the game, there was like police drones that just were like fly down the street, and you would have to like avoid them because they would have a camera on them and things like that. Right. Is that coming?
Oh, it is coming. In fact, I've been slowly wading into a deep dive on Antifa and some of the protests going on. Now, there's some people are saying that both cops and Antifa in cities like Portland are both using drones, and that their surveillance on both sides is getting, particularly in Antifa, is very sophisticated.
Really?
So I think that is already here, Zach.
Yeah. And that's
not
what's going to happen with it. Like, is it just an information war at that point?
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is. Yeah.
What could you really do with it?
Well, communications, coordination. The cops are over here. Let's move to this block.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Thing.
I think of it more like, when I think about the police cameras, is it any really different than the blue lights? I don't know if you've seen those, if you have those down in Florida.
No.
But like in Maryland, and specifically in some bad areas, you can tell that there's a police camera because it's always got this blue light on top of it.
Okay.
Right. So it's like, and the way I think about it is like, how is the police drone really any different than that, except it can move?
No, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be any different. Now the question is going to be when they cross, like these giant military drones with a surveillance drone and essentially put a gun on it. I think that's what's coming next.
That's going to be tough for anyone to kind of debate on, because like, how does that turn any different than like some kind of crazy communist country? That sounds like something they would have in like North Korea.
Yeah,
right?
or I mean, at very least, pepper spray, right? A drone that could
like shoot out a net at somebody.
Yeah, a net.
Right?
There you go, a net.
A net just shoots out and like grapples you, and you're just like someone running away from the cops, right?
Oh.
Like, I mean, they already use helicopters to chase people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If there's already a drone, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. There was a helicopter flying around my neighborhood for 5 hours yesterday because they were doing a manhunt right in my backyard.
Oh no!
Yeah. I'm going to tell a story because it's crazy. I live on one street. It's only like 2 blocks. It's very small. It's like a very tiny neighborhood.
Yeah.
And it's a dead end. And it's surrounded by woods. And the cops were chasing this guy, and he turns down my street. Sees it's a dead end. He fucking crashes his car into a light pole and gets out and runs into the woods. So God. Like all day yesterday, we had a helicopter flying over. The whole street was blocked, so no one could go or go anywhere. And you just had this car crashed in the middle of our neighborhood while the cops like walked through the woods and tried to search for this guy.
Scary.
But you think about like how long it took for that helicopter to get up in the air and then start looking. Like if it was this kind of situation where they're already a patrol drone, like, it's already flying, just like,
there's already thousands of up in the sky. You just coordinate, move it over, and we find the guy.
Yeah, and I mean that's going to be difficult because I mean, that's the problem. I don't even know if that would even ever happen. I mean, people already, get upset at NSA, and everyone says like, Big Brother's always listening to you in your conversations and things like that.
But has it stopped?
No. No, it hasn't. And there's a lot of people that are in the mindset of like, if you don't do anything wrong, then you don't have anything to worry about.
Oh no, that's not true. Everyone is doing something wrong at all times. Everyone is breaking a law.
I guess it just depends how bad the law is that you're breaking, right?
That's exactly right. I mean, I think, I don't know, I'm not the first one to say this, but someone has famously said, at any given point, you're like breaking like 10 felonies or something.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of do the cops want to go after you? So yeah, I mean, so when it gets to that point, then you could just, enforce the law, except the law sucks, which is where we are now. Man, nobody cares about the spying. We had Edward Snowden. I mean, they're maybe talking about Trump pardoning him. That was
the big thing before he pardoned, what was it, Susan B. Anthony?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, it's going to be Edward Snowden. Then he came out and said, no, it's not going to be Edward Snowden.
Yeah. So, even he exposed all those secrets, but I don't know what real reform has ever been done.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, see, they're gonna. It's really convenient. You get drone delivery, and so you just buy the product, the consumer product. Meanwhile, they're using that technology to.
And those things have to have cameras on them, right? Police are just going to be hacking into them to like do their own surveillance.
Yeah, and then maybe the cops can have the Walmart drones lend some assistance to an investigation. You know,
Yeah.
there was a disturbance where you
And
made a
it,
delivery at
yeah,
3:14.
and it can deliver them donuts, like, on the side, right?
Yeah, you know, just
Win-win.
yeah, yeah. The drone will deliver your package and then arrest you. How about that? Wow, this is pretty bullshitty.
Yeah.
This is a pretty deep one, actually. I mean, this is just a 5-paragraph story here that caught both of our eyes, and it's kind of setting us off here. It's pretty nuts.
I know. I had low level. I'm gonna upgrade it 2 points.
I think I am too. I'm gonna give this thing a 6. What do you got?
5. I was gonna go 3. I'm going 5.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, normally I would. This as we peeled back the
We
bullshit.
did. Read it first thing. I'm like, that's stupid. If you use that, you're an idiot. But that was the end of it. Like, I don't really care. But now that we're talking about it, I'm fired up. So yeah, I'm gonna go 5.
And you know they don't want you to get mad at any of this stuff, and you do, and you got no one seems to care. It's like they say, like it's like the quote in here that ticked me off so much is, well, we know this is coming one day. Basically, really, does it need to?
Yeah.
And you know, as the kinds of jobs that people can do, I think are shrinking. And one of those jobs that has opened up for people has been delivery stuff. And now we're just going to make sure that now those people don't have work either.
Yeah, I keep seeing ads fed to me from this company called Miso Robotics. I don't know if you've seen those, but it's like they're not a well, they are a company, but it's kind of like early stages, and it's kind of like you could be an investor in them. And I just keep seeing like ads fed to me, and it's just like these robot arms with like a spatula on them, where it's just the video just shows it going like flipping a burger and shit like that. So it's like I see that, I'm like, man, how many people are going to lose their jobs once that thing comes out and is in every McDonald's across the country?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, they say, you know, we'll all find new jobs, but I'm a little suspicious of that.
Yeah. He's like, well, the people need to work to fix them. I'm like, well, okay, but how many years of schooling and degrees are they going to require for you to have that job?
Well, how many robot repairmen do you need?
Yeah, exactly. One for every robot? What the hell? Yeah. What's the point of it? Yeah.
It's one guy that goes to like 30 McDonald's or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where the world's going to be, but at this point, it's not looking like it's headed to a good place.
Maybe Andrew Yang would be president, giving everyone $1,000 a month or whatever it was.
Yeah, he's the one that's definitely on top of this automation, job killing automation. Yeah, I mean it is. I believe it. I believe it's real. Not like everyone's going to lose their job, and you know things do change and all that, but I think it's definitely a very, very real worry.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, well that's our 5, Zach. Counting this down, we've got the COVID priest gay marriage caused COVID. That's story number 5. Who then contracted COVID himself. So now we're all left questioning his choices. We've got a tie. We've got a tie for number 4 between the drone story we just discussed and the boat parade. I don't want to call it a tragedy, just chaos, maybe.
Yeah, chaos is a good word.
Okay. And then number 2 is the 12-year-old boy arrested for the BB gun while on a Zoom class at school. I mean, that was definitely a BS onion there. And then rounding it up, number 1, Zach, what's our number 1 story of the week?
Our number 1 story is the gender reveal idiots starting a fire with killing 10,000 odd acres or whatever it was of our lovely California wild side.
Oh my God! Absolute bullshit. Terrible. Just the selfishness there is really what sticks in my craw.
That is one big pile of shit.
It really gets my goat.
Yeah.
Well, that is this week's episode of the BS Podcast. If you've enjoyed this, by the way, I want you all to comment. We'd love to get your comments. Please go ahead and comment below, whether you're watching on Facebook. Certainly comment below the video. Hit like, share this video to all your friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. Hit the like button, comment. I want to know what you guys are thinking about all these topics we're discussing. And we've noticed the comments ticking up a lot. We love getting that interaction with all of you and knowing what you all think. And Zach, after they after they share all our videos and subscribe to everything, hit the like button, all everything else. If they want to check out some of our sites, where can they look? Where are they, and what can they do?
Yeah, you're not done after you subscribe to YouTube. We put out a lot of shit, but it is nothing compared to what our other sites put out. I mean, because we are a very small portion of what we do.
Yeah.
You can go to informedamerican.com for politics and current events, breaking news. realhealthynews.com for everything health related, wallstreetwirenews.com for everything finance related. Go there, put in your email address. It's completely free. You just get it all to your inbox every single day.
Absolutely. Thanks, Zach. For Zach, I am Dave, and I've had enough of this BS.
You've been listening to the BS Podcast with Dave and Zach, part of the Informed American Radio Network. Please like and subscribe today in order to get fresh new weekly episodes. Please send us your BS stories to info@informedamerican.com. The world is hard enough, and now we gotta deal with this balls.